day one, it's always good to get started, but just go ahead.
Well, day one's now, with the way things are set up, it's a little bit anticlimactic because certain things we started in June. Now, they didn't get their full dose of me until today. But, we've done a lot of teaching, a lot of conditioning, a lot of lifting, a lot of skill work. That's what the summer is. You don't want to start being too heavy too soon because it's such a long season. But today went about as I would have predicted. The guys that struggle the most are the new guys. They'll learn. Making mistakes is not the problem. It's the effort you're making when you're making a mistake. You got to learn to make your mistakes. But I can go all the way back to Armani Brooks. Armani Brooks was like that. He wasn't like that as a junior. That's why when we get new players, everybody starts slobbering all over them like they're already there. None of these guys are ready to impact winning. None of them. Name me a player. He's not ready to impact winning if he's a first-year player. The year we went to the Final Four, the number one recruiting class in the nation was Kentucky. I think their record was 8-18 or 8-17, something like that. Duke was the number 2 recruiting class. They were 16-13. So don't talk to me about recruiting rankings. They don't mean anything. By the way, Marcus was 297. So it's about experience, about learning the system, it's about picking things up. And they're going to struggle. Effort and attitude are things that they can control, and that's what this program's all about. I don't have to worry about coaching effort and attitude because I have older guys that take care of that. I'm allowed to coach basketball. But now, if I see effort that's not where I want it to be, then we'll address it. But we don't put off things for tomorrow that we can control today.
Kelvin, it hurt you to see Marcus and Jamon go out last year, just to see them back on the floor and kind of getting back to basics again. I know you as a coach just got to happy for them as players too. How much they love this.
Yeah, they're. Marcus is in his 4th year with me. I don't worry about Marcus' effort, and I never worry about his attitude. Now, Tremon's effort, his toughness level is not at the same level as Marcus is right now. He's got to get better. That's why I stay on top of him. But remember, Marcus is his 4th year playing. Tremon's in his 2nd year. Tremont played his freshman year. He didn't play last year. So don't say this is his 3rd year. It's his 3rd year, but his 2nd year playing. It's like JVA. JVA's a freshman this year. Jamal's 1st year, last year was really his freshman year. Because they're all their minutes and experience will dictate what year they are as far as I'm concerned. But Marcus is, Marcus is the face of this program right now. It's like last year, I'm not sure we had one. Our strength was in the pack, and that's why I prefer it. I don't want a guy that dominates everything. As good as Quentin was, 1st-round draft choice. Our most valuable player was Dejan Jerome. Our most important player was probably Justin Gorham. Quentin just played a role. His role was to score. But, people that don't know what they don't know always give people who score the points too much attention. On a team like ours, everybody has a role. Your role may be to score, your role may be to this, but everybody's a role player for us.
Go back to the early years where Gilliam was a 4-year guy. You look at Marcus has been here, and then Fabian was a 5-year guy. So that's sort of where you built it, where you had one of those guys take a big role.
Yeah, well, your recruiting classes will always be specific to what you need. That's why it would be impossible for somebody outside our doors to predict or know what we do, who we're recruiting or how good they are. Because you guys have no idea what we're doing until they get here. Then you get to see them and then you make your assessment. But we've already done that. We like to do our stuff in a cloak of darkness. Our veteran guys will always be the guys that set the tone in our program. Our freshman guys have to learn. Jarris and Terrence, Emmanuel, Malik, they've never been through a practice before. All these other guys have. Bowser has not. So we got a bunch of new guys. But this time last year, Tyler Edwards, Tajay, you guys had no idea who Tajay was this time last year. Now, about a month later, you said, wow, he can do this or do that. Well, we saw that 6 months ago. But Tajay, Tyler, Josh, who was the new guys last year? I'm probably missing somebody. But, the difference in them and these three is they were in their 4th and 5th year of college. These guys never played a college game. So if you have high expectations for these guys right away, you're going to be disappointed. But I won't be, because I know what they can and can't do. So that's why I don't oversell what we have. I want these guys to develop, learn to play hard, learn to compete, learn to play within our system, and then they'll grow as they go.
How was Ramon walking a guy like you back in the
Yeah, love Ramon. Love him. He probably embodies what I want the player more than anybody we have. Jamal's right there with him. Marcus is right there with him. Reggie is. I mean, we got a lot of tough kids. These kids, some of them weren't like that when they got here. Like none of the 3 freshmen right now I'd say are really tough kids. I'd say they're really talented. But if they want to be really good, when you're in high school and you're talented, you don't have to be tough. You're better than everybody just by being talented. I don't know what's not the way worse than college, and that's my job. That's why they came here. They knew what they were getting into.
It's a toughness scale for a freshman between now and when do you need to see some of
Tomorrow. At the end of practice today, and I did. I saw them get better. There's nobody running around here asking for autographs. Nobody wants their selfie. If anything, we will kick their ass. But that's what it takes to get them better.
How important is it to these kinds of practices and the body?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Chris, because I never felt like we got better last year through practice. We just didn't have any bodies, especially guards. Anthony Goldwater used to be a good player, but believe it or not, Anthony Goldwater's 50. Can't move anymore. Coach Quantas, I recruited him as a point guard. He looks more like a pulling guard, so he can't help. Hollis is too old and too beat up. Kellen is too beat up. My assistant coaches go so hard they can't practice. So we weren't in a position last year because we would put Jamal, Tajay, and Tyler out there. We only had one other guard, and that was Jamal and Ryan Elton. And Ryan's athleticism is a factor when it comes to guarding these guys. Because you're a good shooter doesn't make you a player. That means you're a pretty good horse. But being a player is different than being a good shooter. But this year, like today, we had Malik and Terrence, Emmanuel, Ramon, Jamal, Shimon, Marcus. We had 7 guards today. Not all of them are going to play. I don't sit here and make sure guys get to play. That's not the way this thing works here. But they earn their playing time starting today. But that's the great thing about having competitive practice. You hold guys accountable more. Now last year our culture held them accountable. That's why our kids play hard every game. We don't have games where some games were better than others, and that's why people say, well, you got to make sure they're ready to play. We do every game, regardless of who we play.
You said you know what they're signing up for. Do you get a sense that they do know what they're signing up for? One thing is to know what before you get in.
I'm honest with them. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't tell them they're going to start. I don't do that. I never have. I recruit the same way today. I've always recruited. If you were to ask that one there, Jairus or Marcus, I recruit everybody the same. I don't Google them or coddle them. Kids need to know the truth. That's why in the last 8 years we've had one guy in our major rotation transfer. Think about that. Everybody transfers today, right? Well, how many of our guys have transferred and played? One. That's it. And the year he transferred, went to the Final Four and then followed that up with an Elite Eight. So that tells you a little about being honest with kids. If you're honest with them, they know what to expect. And they want you to tell them the truth. They don't want you to tell them how great they are and you're going to start and get X amount of shots. It's not the way the thing works here.
Did that translate over today with those young guys? That appreciation, that honesty, and just
I don't worry about that after the first practice. Come talk to me and be separate. You know, their job is to get in line and do what the other guys do, and they're trying. You know, they're no different. Those three guys are no different today than Grimes, Damian Dotson, Devin Davis, Rob Gray. They're all the same. This class is no different than any other class as far as I'm concerned. They're all the same to me. They just happen to be this class.
So much deeper. It's important that guys accept roles and so they know their minutes could fluctuate.
Yeah, I don't think this team is any deeper than our Sweet 16 team that played Kentucky. That team started Galen Robinson, Corey Davis, Monty Brooks, and we brought Dejan Drew and Nate Hinton off the bench. Think about it. It's 5 starters. Now up front, we started Chris Harris and Fabian. And off the bench, we had Bryson Gresham and who was our Justin Gore. So we've always had deep teams. Last year was the only one that we got caught short-handed, and we had, because we had done a good job recruiting, we were in a position to use our depth. It would have been like losing Galen and Corey. So now you started Dejan and Nate and Armani. We're still going to be good. We just don't have any depth. Last year we just couldn't practice. But this year we have depth. We've always had depth. It's not the first year we've had depth. We've always had depth.
Given what you have in the backcourt, is it fair to say the backcourt is where you'll look at? Is that where you need to find out some things? Rotation, minutes, roles.
I don't think find out is probably the right terminology. I think figure out. You got to figure it out. But this is my 34th year as head coach. I've never had a year I didn't have to figure something out. Every year you got to figure something out. So this year's no different than any other year. I just got different faces.
What's this day like for you? This first time that you can really get in it?
I told Karen yesterday, I like to come up on Sundays. I come up on Sundays because I'm up on that 3rd floor up there. I don't cut the lights on. That way nobody will come knock on my door if they happen to come in. And I have an inside door to my conference room, and I've got 2 boards. A whiteboard and then a court board where we got courts. And I drove the practice plan by myself, and then I went through all of our sets that I want to teach the first 2 or 3 days. And I was excited. I was excited to do that, and I'm glad I was. Because when I don't get excited to do that, that's when you know. So I had goosebumps. I had my eyes got big. I started getting my stance when I had my pen in my hand. I got excited, so I couldn't wait. I was really excited. I didn't sleep much last night. I got up this morning excited. Coaches meeting. Meeting starts at 10. I had the coaches down on the floor at 9:30 going through all the drills, all the new stuff I wanted to make sure they could teach. And then practice started at 3. I came in here and me and Jeff Van Gundy talked a bunch. And then when it was go time, it's go time.
Is it because of potential? Is it because you love basketball? Is it because you see?
Yeah,
see what's out there?
Every team to me, I treat them all the same. I don't read press clippings or hear what other people think or say, because it doesn't matter to me. I don't care, and that's a great place to be in your life. We could care less what other people think. I hope you guys get there someday. That's where you want to be, where you don't really care what other people say or think. Now, you got to get older to get there. When you're young, you worry about stuff that's not important. Now, if I could go back and coach the younger Kelvin, what I'd tell him, get to where I am now earlier. So that'd be the advice I give you guys. Don't worry about what other people think and say, because it doesn't matter. What matters is what you think and what you do. So as far as this team is concerned, this is the team I'm coaching now. I don't coach them any different than any other team I've ever had.
Kelvin, just you talked about the front court. So how crucial is it going to be for guys like Jawan Roberts and Reggie Chaney? How crucial would it be for guys like Jawan Roberts and Reggie Chaney just in that front court, just as the leaders as well?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot like having Breon Brady and Devin Davis. You know, every team is the same for me. You're always going to have leaders. You know, there was somebody standing there with a mic. You were too young then, but somebody in the mic asked me the same thing that year about Devin and Breon. And Brevin was a senior on that. He might have been a junior, and Devin was a senior when we lost to Michigan. Then the next year, Fabian and Chris. So we've always had veteran guys up front, always. Next year we'll have the same thing. You know, it's tough to start a freshman unless he comes fast. He's got to get ready to play, and that's what we want to do. You know, Jarrett's got to play. You know, Terrence got to play. We'll see where Emmanuel fits. That's up to him. But you know, Jarrett and J1, Reggie, JVA. I like playing small. You know, we can play small ball with just about anybody. Ramon can play with 3 guards because he is a guard. Terrence can play with 3 guards because he is a guard. Jarrett can play anywhere. He can play the 3, he can play the 4, he can play the 5. So, you know, to Chris's point about having competitive practice, you're also able to use your versatility. You know, there'll be games when, you know, our size will be a little more important than others. But, you know, we played against a bunch of 7-footers here. We played against a lot of teams with 6'8" centers, too. You know, in the NCAA tournament, we beat a team with 2 7-footers and lost to a team that had a 6'8" 5-man and a 6'4" 4-man. So size doesn't matter. What matters is how good you are.
You split KC and Hollis this year like you did last year. You like that? Come out here. You've been playing all along. Like, what do you like out of that?
Yeah, I think it's good for them. Because I want them to be prepared for their opportunity. You know, Kellen and Quantas are my stalwarts. You know, they're awesome. But when Alvin left, you know, I didn't. You know, I knew in my mind I was going to move them both up. But I explained to them that every year we're going to rotate. Last year it was KC. This year it's Hollis. But they all have the same responsibilities, and they're doing a great job. I can see both of their growth. So it's like different responsibilities administratively. I like to rotate those things because when they become a head coach, they're going to have to be able to do them. And when they leave here, I want them to be ready.
When you have a guy like Jeff Van here, I mean, how much do you enjoy, you know, getting to talk, you know, basketball and getting another perspective?
Well, I probably answer more questions than anything else. You know, but I think we had 8 different coaching staffs here in Queens, other schools that want to come and observe practice from all over, West Coast, Midwest, East Coast, Southwest. So we're used to having coaches in practice. Now you know, Lauren fielded calls from a bunch of fans that want to come to my practice. Fans don't get to come to practice. That's not the way this thing works. But coaches do. I allow high school coaches, junior high coaches, college coaches, pro coaches. You know, Golden State Warriors is here. The other day, Dallas, Houston, New Orleans. We've always got a bunch of pro scouts, pro guys around. You know, I enjoy talking to him. Jeff's a good guy. Know Jeff for, you know, we got to be good friends when I was in the NBA. And, he's a wealth of knowledge in that dude. I love talking to him.